Welcome to Enlightened Wisdom, dear souls. There is something you need to understand right now in this very moment. Listen closely, chosen one. You didn't find this message by accident. You were led here because something is shifting in your life, and deep down, you can feel it. A new energy is rising within you, a power that can no longer be ignored. For too long, people have underestimated you. They've overlooked your worth, mistaken your kindness for weakness, and assumed you would always stay in the background. They thought you would always be the one giving, always the one sacrificing, always the one who is ignored while others take center stage. But let me tell you this, that season is over. The way people treated you before, that ends today. Because something in you has awakened. You are no longer the same person they once knew. You have stepped into a new mindset, a new level of self-respect, a new level of divine confidence. And now they feel it. The energy around you has changed. You are stepping into your power, and they don't know how to handle it. And if this message is speaking to you, if you feel this shift happening in your own life, then let it be known. Drop a comment below and declare it. I am ready. Because the moment you say it, you are claiming your transformation. You are aligning yourself with the new reality that respect is no longer optional. It is required. And if you're ready to fully embrace this shift, hit that like button as a sign of agreement. Subscribe and turn on notifications because this is just the beginning. Your journey to undeniable respect, unstoppable success, and divine power is only getting started. Now let's continue, because what I'm about to reveal next will make sure you never allow yourself to be disrespected again. They thought they could ignore you forever. They thought you would always be the one in the background, always giving, always serving, always making sacrifices while others took center stage. They mistook your humility for weakness. They mistook your patience for passivity. They mistook your silence for submission. But they were wrong. You were never weak. You were never beneath them. You were just waiting for the right moment to rise. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Psalm 118 verse 22. And now that moment has come. Those who once dismissed you, who made you feel left just to be acknowledged, are now being forced to recognize your worth. Not because you demanded it, but because God's favor on your life has become too undeniable to ignore. They can feel it. They see the way you carry yourself differently. They notice how your presence commands attention. They see doors opening for you, opportunities coming your way, people treating you with a new level of respect, and it bothers them. Why? Because they built their self-worth on the idea that they were superior to you. They convinced themselves that they were further ahead, more talented, more deserving. But now they are watching you step into the very blessings they believed belonged to them. And the truth is, some of them never truly supported you. They tolerated you. They underestimated you. They saw your potential, but secretly hoped you would never fully step into it. Because the moment you did, it would force them to face the reality of their own stagnation. But you were never competing with them. While they were obsessed with being better than you were focused on becoming who God created you to be. While they were secretly comparing their journey to yours, you were busy walking in your divine purpose. And now they have lost a battle they never even told you they were fighting. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. What they don't understand is that this was never about proving them wrong. It was about proving God right. God already declared his favor over your life. God already called you chosen. And no amount of jealousy, doubt, or silent competition could ever change that. Look at Joseph. His brothers despised him, not because he had done anything to them, but because they saw God's favor on his life. They tried to get rid of him, believing they could strip him of his destiny. But what they didn't realize was this: Joseph's anointing wasn't tied to their approval. It was tied to God's plan. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. And the same is true for you. They thought ignoring you would make you invisible. They thought belittling you would make you doubt yourself. They thought that as long as they refused to acknowledge your greatness, you would never recognize it within yourself. But God had a different plan. He allowed them to overlook you, so he could prepare you. He allowed them to dismiss you so he could refine you. And now he is positioning you in a place where their opinions no longer matter. And here's what's about to happen next. They will try to reconnect. Not because they've changed, but because they see your elevation. They see your growth. They see that the same person they once dismissed is now operating at a level they never expected. Some will disguise it as support, acting as if they were on your side all along. Others will come with backhanded compliments, still trying to minimize your success while pretending to celebrate it. And then there will be those who remain silent, watching, analyzing, waiting for a moment of weakness so they can convince themselves that you are not as strong as you appear. But here's what they all have in common. None of them have control over your destiny. Because this is not about them. This is about God's plan for your life. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah 29. So let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them question how you keep rising. Because what they fail to understand is this: you are not moving by your own strength. You are moving by divine favor. And when God is for you, who can be against you? They never really supported you. They studied you. They watched you not to celebrate your wins, but to scrutinize them. They followed your every move, not with admiration, but with quiet resentment. At first, they ignored you, thinking you would stay in the same place forever. But now, they can't look away. Something about you has changed, and they don't understand it. They see you thriving, succeeding, walking with a new confidence. And instead of being happy for you, they are unsettled, because your success forces them to confront their own shortcomings. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. They are obsessed, but they will never admit it. They analyze your every post, your every word, your every decision. Not because they support you, but because they are searching for cracks in your strength. They hope to find evidence that you are not as powerful as you seem. They are desperate to prove, to themselves and to others, that somehow you are still beneath them. But here's the problem. There is nothing to find. Because your confidence is not an act. Your success is not a fluke. The anointing on your life is not something they can explain away, and that terrifies them. They wanted to see you struggle. They wanted to see you fall apart. Because as long as you were broken, they didn't have to face the reality of their own stagnation. But you didn't break. You didn't crumble. You didn't come running back asking for their validation. Instead, you rose, and now you are free. They used to believe you needed them, to feel worthy, to feel valuable, to feel like you belonged. But now they are realizing something they never expected. You never needed them at all. So if the sun sets you free, you will be free indeed. That's the truth they cannot handle. Because if you were never dependent on their approval, then their opinions were never as important as they believed. They built their identity on the illusion that they were somehow superior to you. But when they see you thriving without their support, without their validation, without their permission, it shakes them to their core. And so, they keep watching. They keep analyzing. They keep waiting for the moment when you stumble, when you hesitate, when you doubt yourself. But what they don't realize is that you are no longer moving by your own strength. You are walking in divine favor. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. They can study you, they can question you, they can even hope for your failure, but they cannot stop what God has already set in motion. So let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them struggle with their own insecurities. Because at the end of the day, your success is not for their approval, it is for God's glory. They look at you now and assume you were just lucky. They convince themselves that success came easily to you, that things just magically worked out in your favor. But what they don't see, what they refuse to acknowledge, is the price you paid to get here. They don't know about the nights you stayed awake, praying for a breakthrough. They don't know about the sacrifices you made, the opportunities you had to walk away from, the moments when you doubted yourself but still chose to keep going. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Psalm 35. They don't see the tears, the struggle, the times you had nothing left but faith. They only see the harvest, but they never noticed when you were sowing the seeds. They see the success, but they never witnessed the failures. They see the confidence, but they never saw the battles that shaped it. They think you were simply given what you have now, but what they don't realize is this: you fought for it. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Galatians 6:7. You endured seasons where no one believed in you. You walked alone when others turned their backs. You kept moving forward when there was no applause, no encouragement, no recognition. But God saw you. He saw your late nights. He saw your silent struggles. He saw you pushing through when giving up would have been easier. And now, your season of harvest has arrived. But they don't understand it, because they weren't there when you were planting. They didn't see the work, the discipline, the unwavering faith that carried you through. They only see the results, but they have no idea what it took to get here. I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. 2 Timothy 4:7. And that's why they struggle to comprehend your success. Because it wasn't given, it was built. It was earned. It was divinely ordained. They don't realize that while they were busy watching you, you were busy working. While they were questioning your worth, you were proving your faith. While they were doubting your potential, you were stepping into your destiny. And now they have no choice but to watch you walk in the blessings they never thought you would receive. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. Habakkuk 2:3. Let them be confused. Let them wonder. Let them sit with their questions. Because no matter how much they try to understand it, they will never grasp what it truly took for you to get here. And they don't have to. Because your journey was never about them, it was always about God's plan for you. They don't have to like it. They don't even have to accept it. But one thing is certain, they can no longer deny it. You have grown. You have elevated. You have stepped into your power. And now they are forced to watch. At first, they tried to ignore it. They convinced themselves that your success was temporary, that somehow it was just a stroke of luck. But how many wins do they have to witness before they realize this isn't luck, it's alignment? When the Lord takes pleasure in anyone's way, He causes their enemies to make peace with them. Proverbs 16:7. They wanted to believe you were the same person you used to be, the one they could overlook, underestimate, or manipulate. But you are not that person anymore. And that makes them uncomfortable. Because as long as they saw you as small, they didn't have to question their own position. But now that you've risen, now that you walk with authority, now that you carry yourself like someone who knows exactly who they are struggling to find their say. But let's be clear. You never asked for their approval. You never needed their validation. You never needed their recognition. And you certainly don't need their permission to keep rising. Your Thang Tien is not random. It is not an accident. It is the result of faith, of obedience, of divine timing. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will lift you up. James 4:10. Some will be happy for you. Real supporters will celebrate you. They will see your success as proof that God's favor is real, that blessings come to those who stay faithful, that greatness is possible when you align with His plan. But others, they will reveal themselves. They won't clap. They won't congratulate. They will stay silent, or worse, try to minimize what's happening in your life. And that's fine. Because at the end of the day, their feelings don't change your destiny. No one can shut the door that God has opened. Revelation 3:8. So let them wrestle with their emotions. Let them deal with their own insecurities. Let them sit in their discomfort while you keep walking forward. Because whether they admit it or not, they will respect you. Not because you demanded it. Not because you fought for it. But because the power of God in your life has made it impossible for them to ignore. You don't need their approval anymore. You've stopped seeking it, and that has changed everything. There was a time when you cared about what they thought. You wanted to fit in, to be accepted, to be acknowledged. You allowed their opinions to shape your choices, to influence your actions, to determine your worth. But those days are over. Am I now trying to win the approval of human beings, or of God? Or am I trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. Galatians 1:10. Now you've set boundaries they never expected. boundaries they never imagined you would have the strength to create. And it unsettles them. Because for the longest time, they thought they could control you. They thought they could manipulate you with their words, influence you with their opinions, and use your desire for acceptance as a way to keep you small. But now, you've taken back your power. You don't let their negativity affect you. You don't allow their doubt to take root in your heart. You don't give them the satisfaction of seeing you question yourself. And that's what truly bothers them. Because they used to have a certain level of influence over you. They used to know how to get under your skin, how to make you second-guess your decisions, how to keep you from fully stepping into the confidence God has placed in you. But now you've made it clear that your identity is not up for debate. You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of Him who called you out of darkness into His wonderful light. 1 Peter 2:9. You've grown beyond needing anyone's permission to be who you are. You don't let their criticism hold you back, and you certainly don't let their approval define you. Yes, they feel distant. Yes, they feel disconnected, because they can no longer control you the way they once did. They can no longer use your need for validation as a way to keep you in line. And the truth is, you've outgrown them. Not in arrogance, but in alignment. You've aligned yourself with God's purpose for your life, and in doing so, you've gained a level of confidence that doesn't require anyone's approval. If God is for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:31. That's why they feel unsettled. Because they sense that you've stepped into a different realm, a realm where their opinions don't carry weight, where their criticism doesn't cut as deep, where their influence no longer dictates your actions. And it's not that you're against them. It's not that you hold any resentment. It's simply that you've learned who you are in Christ, and that truth has set you free. So let them feel distant. Let them wrestle with their own feelings, because your journey is no longer about them, it's about walking in the purpose that God has set before you. You don't need their acceptance to validate your worth. You don't need their recognition to confirm your success. You've been chosen by God, and that is the only validation that matters. You are stepping into a season of abundance that no one can take from you. This is your divine moment, your appointed time. Everything you have endured, every challenge you have overcome, and every silent battle you have fought has prepared you for this. Now, you rise. Let the doubters watch in silence. Let the envious observe from a distance. Their opinions, their judgments, their silent comparisons, none of it matters. What God has ordained for you cannot be undone. The Lord will make you the head and not the tail. You shall be above only, and not be beneath. Deuteronomy 28:13. So step forward, walk in boldness, own the power that has always been inside you. Declare it now, I am stepping into my divine power. If this message has ignited something within you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. The journey is just beginning, and the best is yet to come. This is your time. Walk into it with unshakable confidence.